Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and today I'm going to share a file with you that I recreated in Design Space. Now this file was originally from Sarah Trebilcock from Card Making Ideas. Okay, let me say that again. So it's the How-To Tutorial Fold Back Swing Card by Sarah Trebilcock, Card Making Ideas, and I'll link her video below. It's on YouTube. And I took her measurements as she talks you through how to make the card, and I just imported them into, well, I didn't import them, I recreated them, reset it up in Design Space. So for those of you who like to, set up a card once and then just recreate it over and over again, this is the perfect card. It's easy to do. Well, it's easier to do than having to cut it out by hand, because as you can see, it swings open and it swings closed, and she cuts it out by hand. And for the fancier ones, she uses dies on the folds to get this shape instead of a square. So her video, I recommend you watch it, particularly if you have dies and you want to try something a little bit more interesting, I guess, than a square. But I recreated this using one of my paper pads, and so it is this Craft Smart, which I believe is the Michaels brand, and I've had it for a while, as I have with most of my stuff. It does not seem to have a year on it anywhere, so I don't know, but I'm guessing 15 years or more. And I'm just kind of going through one paper pad at a time as I design cards and pulling out different ideas. Now this is another paper pad. The designs are on the front only, so the back is a good option. Actually, yeah, this is the one I used. Look at that big, well, you can't see it. I need to zoom back out. Every time I zoom, though, I end up going the wrong way, and then I touch one of the settings that I don't want to touch. Okay, so anyway, look at that. That's gorgeous. But there's a lot of interesting papers in here, and that would be beautiful on the front of a card. So there's some interesting stuff in here, and the pieces I used are more toward the back. Oh, there they are. So there's one of them, and there's the other. So this was the paper pad I used, and again, it's called Floral Romance. And I am guessing it's at least 15 years old. But I just want to show you, I've collected these pads. I don't know what I thought I was going to do with them, but now I've got them, and I do need to do something with them. So I'm going to turn them into cards and junk journals and stuff like that. So that's where the paper came from. Now the green card base, that is actually Coordinations cardstock from Michaels, I believe. It could even be Joann's. You know what? Maybe it's Hobby Lobby. It's one of the three. And Joann's doesn't exist anymore, so now you're down to two. But anyway, isn't this card beautiful? I opted to kind of make this flower on the front, and I did use dies for this. So this shape is not included in the file. It is a free file, even for non-access subscribers to Design Space. Because I just used free shapes. So the card base itself is free. This flower did not come with it, nor did this die back here. But you can decorate it with whatever you want. I loved the almost antique-y kind of look of the flowers, so I opted to color it in with, again, some kind of antique-y looking colors. So there's a couple different shades of brown, a couple different shades of yellow, and then if I get really close, you can see the Wink of Stella, which kind of exploded in the center. I'm not sure what I can do to fix that, if anything. I also drug the Wink of Stella out from the center of the flower after I had ink blended it, and it kind of brings out these little veins. Now you can do that with just plain water as well. I have done that. But if you're going to add Wink of Stella, it'll do it for you. And it just kind of draws those veins of color out to the edges of the petal. And I just think they look so pretty. So yeah, so this is the card. So let's go over and look at, well, I use let's just go over the supplies. I used Spectrum Noir inks by Harmony. These are several years old. You can use whatever you have. I did use, to shape the flower a little bit, this foam Stampin' Up! Stamp mat. Now you can use anything that's a little foamy and springy. It just helps give you your flowers a little bit of body and life. You can even use the palm of your hand, but I have found in the past when I've done a bunch of those, the palm of my hand tends to get sore because you're using a ball tool. I've only got a couple of them here, but I've got some that are even bigger than this one, and you're pressing kind of hard, and so after a while your hand will start to hurt, or at least mine did. And then the dies, I can show them to you, but I don't know who they're from. This is actually a combination of dies from a couple different people. So yeah, I just picked a big enough flower that would fit on my base here and went with that. And so let's go over to the file and I'll just show you what we have. Okay, so here I tell you it's the How-To Tutorial Fold Back Swing Card by Sarah Trebilcock, Card Making Ideas. That is a mouthful, let me just say. I know I've kind of stumbled through it the first 2 times, and I'm not sure I did great that time either, but for those of you who like accents, I love accents because, you know, I don't know what it is about them, but anyway, she's in the UK, so she's got a very pleasant accent, very pleasant to listen to, and she gives you a couple of different ways usually to make her cards. So in this, I used this dark blue here. Let's zoom way in. This dark blue background is what I used for the card base, and that is what I used as the green. And then you have different layers here to cover up the card base just to make it a little more interesting. Now she also added these white pieces, which actually, if I'm not mistaken, are bigger. Yes, so she actually also added those behind these slightly smaller squares. I chose not to do that since I was using a designer cardstock anyway, and I knew I was wanting to put something like the flower on top, but those are there if you want them. Everything's pre-sized, and that's why I put optional over here. This piece is also optional, this blue piece. She uses it over here, and the reason she does that is because she's not cutting hers with the Cricut, for one, and she's just trying to make it easier to get through. I was able to figure out the measurements based on her instructions, which were really good, how to put this slice in here to make this portion flip. So if you don't want these matting layers, you don't have to use them. If you do want them, use them, or even the blue ones here can be optional. It's up to you, but I put it all in there for you, and you can choose what you want to use. Now the other thing, you can ignore this message over here. That's just because this print and cut is too big to actually print and cut. But that's really just there for your information, for my information, in case anybody's interested. I like to give credit to the designer or the person who inspired me. You know, they may not be the original designer, but they're the ones I saw. So when I can do that, I like to include that. In the group file here that is hidden, I have got, let's just open it up. I have just got the 2 pieces that I started with, one square and one score line, which you can also then turn into your cut line. That's all that's in that file. That's what I made this card with, just using those 2 pieces, and then just resizing them and multiplying them and all of that stuff. So that is the, I'm going to say it is 4th time, maybe that's the charm, How-To Tutorial Fold Back Swing Card by Sarah Trebilcock, Card Making Ideas. I think I did do it better that time. All right, so I'm not going to show you how to put it together. I think it's pretty simple and straightforward. If you know, I definitely encourage you to go and check out her video, because she does show you how to put it together, and I don't see why I should reinvent the wheel when she's already done a great job doing that. But this is what I came up with based on you know, her video. So you can put any sentiment in there. You could even, and I didn't show you this before, you could even put another white square on the background, which would be the same as this layer here, and put your sentiment and write your message on the back. I had a little bit of scrap piece that had the flowers at the bottom, so I decided to use it just to decorate the back a little bit. I'll probably put my sticker on here that says I made it. I need to get a stamp, I just haven't done that yet. And there's a little bit of room as it is just to write your message. So you could even add a sentiment right here if you wanted to, just something kind of cover that up a little bit, whether it's happy birthday, thinking of you, congratulations, whatever. I will remind you that when you're folding and scoring to be careful, because you can get tears in some of these papers. This Craft Smart paper pad was pretty inexpensive, I believe, so it's maybe not the best quality. Plus it's old, you know. And I didn't probably wait for my glue long enough. She cuts hers out after she glues it together, but because I'm using the Cricut, I didn't do that. So you do want to be wary of that. I did glue it down, but now it's kind of stained a little bit. So I'll probably put a little butterfly or something over that. I don't know. But you, like I said, you could put a sentiment across there, just a little sentiment strip or something, and then you've got room to write a little message here. So it's great for a birthday card, thinking of you card, even a get well card. It could even be a happy anniversary card. You know, I'm sure you can think of other things that I'm skipping, but it really is it really is a multi-purpose card, depending on how you style it, finish it off. It's great for anything. Just as this is, it's good for all of those options that I listed. So let me know what you think. Please check out Sarah's video, and if you don't mind, give her a like, and I would appreciate a like and a subscribe as well. But I am happy to say we are welcoming new viewers all the time. I really appreciate all of you guys. Some of you have been with me for a few years, some of you are much newer, but I'm thrilled to just be able to share what I love to do with you, and that's why I share my designs for free, because it's really all just about helping each other out, and I get a lot of joy out of my crafting. I also get a fair share of frustration, I'm not going to lie about that, but the joy more than makes up for it. So again, thank you all to everyone. If you do make this or something similar, I would really love it if you'd share it in the Facebook page. And otherwise, you guys, I hope you have a happy crafty day.